Sniker die, nigga. What is good, y'all? Shorty C94. I know it's been a while since I've done an episode of Nike or Die. Really just been kind of busy getting the YouTube channel back going and, you know, work and being married and having a family and all that. But I'm back. Still season 3. I know, like I said, it hasn't been a lot of episodes here lately, but we got a lot to talk about. So, let's get it going.
Yeah. You gonna have to kill me for me to stop getting it, feel me? Straight up. God, finally famous, nigga. Paper chasers, good. My girl the baddest too, good. I'ma just keep counting. I look up. Okay, I always got a grip, I never slip, I never panic. Got my Rolex set Pacific while I fly through the Atlantic. And just like a know-it-all, I always got the upper hand. And if I listened to you bitches, I would still be on the campus. But instead I'm in the standard with a girl who got some standards. Getting head in the jacuzzi and she claims she from Los Angeles, but she ain't come up for air one time. I swear she from Atlantis. It's so fucking hard to have manners since I bought a man. I never take off, I just take off her panties.
Woo! All right. So, first off, I'm going to start off the show talking about something I said that was, incorrect assumption on my part. On my YouTube channel, I made a video and a montage of the Jordan 18 because, I don't know, for whatever reason, retros after 15, they tend to make a little more expensive. Like when I was selling the white and blue 16, when it retroed, it was $250. The copper 17 plus was $250. And on the 22nd, which is a week ago, they had the 18s, and they were $225, so came down, $25 as it should. But I didn't think they were going to sell. I knew they weren't going to be a regular general release because it's kind of a niche Jordan. It's a Jordan made for someone like me who's, in their 30s. In my case, I'm in my late 30s. And you want to grab some of the nostalgia from your early 20s, which that's what the 18 is. I still have all of my OG pairs. I actually have doubles in the black and blue. But, I didn't think they were going to sell. But, every place that had them sold out of them. There weren't many places around Cleveland that got them. Foot Action didn't get them. From what I understand, none of the Foot Lockers that, I know people that got them. They may have got them at the House of Hoops in Strongsville, but if that's the case, that's the only place in this whole city that got them, other than my former employer, Next. They had them at, one or two of their stores. But yeah, they sold. I mean, they have a few pairs laying around at Next, but not really any good sizes. Zach, 20 years and counting, KOS. He's been on the show before. Back then, I think he was just back to claim what's mine, KOS, whatever. He asked me if I wanted the 12 because they still had a 12 up there. But, I'm not trying to spend $237 on a Jordan that I'm only going to wear maybe once or twice a year that I already have. Now, granted, my pair from 2003 is, they're a little yellowed, in the YouTube video I have about them. You can check about, it's kind of dark because I did it in my rec room. But, yeah, I didn't think they were going to sell, and they ended up, selling. But they didn't come out everywhere. If they had been a regular general release, like how they did the Olive 13, it'd have been different. you know, I believe they'd still be sitting because, again, that's not a Jordan for everybody. Like, I feel like when they come out next month with the Black Cement 3, it's going to be the Jordan for everybody. You know, to get the Tinker pair with the swoosh or the pair, the white cements with the foul line graphics on the bottom, the clear sole. And for y'all that don't know, that clear sole concept on the 3 started in 2003. They made a pair for Michael Jordan when he turned 40 with a clear sole, but they didn't have the free throw line graphics on them. You know, I was kind of hoping that there'd be a wider release of the regular white cement 3 because it's, you know, it came out in 2013 with the Nike Air, but you know those were limited. You could only get them really at Houston, the All-Star. I think they had them on Nike.com too, but you know that's a crapshoot whether or not you're even going to be able to get through on there. But they weren't like a regular release that you could just get, so they haven't been a GR since 2011, January 2011. So it's been 7 years. You know, that's a little while. It'd be nice to have them with the Nike Air on the back, regular. I don't care about the graphics, or I know that he wore them in the dunk contest, and you know he averaged 35 points a game in them in 87, 88. I know all of that, so I don't need those graphics. It's a nice concept, but the fact that they've got a clear sole, if I was able to obtain them, probably wouldn't even wear them that much. Hell, I don't wear my pair from, I got 2 pairs of white cement 3s from 03. I wore a pair on my Instagram page a couple weeks ago because it was snow outside, and I have a rotation of Jordans I specifically just wear in bad weather when I get tired of wearing boots. So I had a pair of white cement 3s on there, but I have another pair that is in better shape that they're still from 03, so they're still going to be yellowed. I haven't taken them out the box in a couple years, but they're still going to be yellowed. The pull tab may come off because it came off when I wore the Beat pair of white cements. You know, the paint's probably chipping, you know, stuff like that. Like, I already know what it is. But, you know, it's nice they're celebrating the 30th anniversary of the 3s. I still think it's going to be the black pair is going to be the pair for everybody. You know, if you want them, you should be able to get them. You know, everybody knows about, you know, it was a tweet that Nike and Jordan Brand put out saying that we're working to preserve the legacy of the shoes, and, you know, we're going to take a close look at how available or unavailable product should be to preserve the legacy of iconic models. I'm not saying that verbatim, but that's basically the gist of it. Basically, we are going to start pulling back. You know, everybody is not going to be able to get them. We're trying to go back to 2013, 2012, 2011. So, you know, we'll see how that works out for them. But the only pair I really would like to have out of that bunch is the black pair, just because I have 3 Beat pairs. My pair from 2011 is what would be considered by most, you know, Beat. Wasn't as made good as my pair from the Countdown pack, but those are also Beat. I've also worn those in the snow. And my pair from 2001 is Beat, you know. So, I really would like to have a fresh pair. And, you know, just kind of take it from there. As far as the Flyknit 3s, they're actually pretty decent. They remind me of the Cause 4 a little bit. It's kind of a constellation. It's got the glow bottom, so they're nice. If the Flyknit ones are $200, I shudder to think how much these are gonna be. It might be $225 or $250. But I do like how they look. They look a little better than I feel the ones look. And the ones don't look bad, but I live in Cleveland. I would only be able to wear those at certain times. I have enough shoes made with Flyknit that I really don't wear enough that I love, especially the Flyknit Chukka. So, I don't know. I also think those are going to be of a quick strike nature too. I don't think they're going to be. No, I don't think they're going to be everywhere. Oh, yeah. You haven't realized I'm in my car. I'm gonna start doing these from the car every morning on my way into work. But I have no interest in the Tinker pair with the swoosh. It's a nice concept, but I feel like that should be the pair that's most limited, just based on concept. I also think it would have been cool if they would have made it where the swoosh was like Velcro, where you could wear it or not. I also thought that would have been a cool idea. I have no interest in having a Jordan 3 with the swoosh on it, Tinker or not. Yeah, it's just not for me. So the only one I have to have is the black one. If the white was a regular general release, like the black one is going to be, I would just get them both. Something about a pair of fresh white cement 3s. Black too, but that white, it just feel like 1988 is just on your foot, I also feel that way if you had a pair of Air Revolutions. It's like you got or Air Assaults, any shoe like that, from that time. You got 1988 on your foot, so I like that. But the fact that they're clear bottom with the graphics and they're supposed to be of a limited nature. I already know that chances are I probably won't be able to get those, because even though my former employer, I have them, I'm not trying to kiss anybody's ass to get a pair of shoes. I'm not trying to do that. And I'm to the point now where I've even let go of the bitterness with them, because I wasn't fired, but I exactly wasn't treated in the best nature, for as much as I put on and tried to put on for them. But that's life, and most people deal with that on jobs to begin with. So what can you do? So they'll probably have an event for them, but yeah, the black pair is the only pair I really would like to, have in my collection, just a fresh pair to pull out, because, you can wear the black cements with pretty much anything, The white cements, to me, you gotta be fresh with those, Oh, man. So, other than that, we're going to take a quick break and go into a brief sports session, and then we'll be back. Appreciate y'all listening, as always. Appreciate the patience. It means a lot. So, we'll be back in a sec.
In the News. In the News is sponsored by
The Cavs have won 2 games in a row for the first time since December 17th. I'm glad that they have a little bit of continuity to build on. They definitely have some issues. They definitely need protection at the rim, and their rebounding is lacking. To me, the thing that's kind of carried the Cavs is the fact that they're in the Eastern Conference, And there's not really a big, bad, tough team that they have to go against ever so often. To me, that team was Boston, and Boston is, still number one in the East, but they're not, to me, big and bad like they were, because they don't have Kelly Olynyk anymore. They don't have Jay Crowder anymore. They don't have Jerberko. I probably not saying his name right. They got rid of a lot of their personality that brought them success last couple years. They don't have Avery Bradley anymore. They don't have Isaiah Thomas anymore. So, and they still got Marcus Smart, and they got the rookie, Tatum. Jaylen Brown is coming along pretty well. Of course, Kyrie has turned into like a mini Kobe, trying to take on everybody. They just got beat the other night on Saturday to Golden State, but it was close. So, but there's no team in the East that's big and bad, kind of like how the bad boy Pistons were, or how the early and mid-'90s Knicks were, where you knew it was going to be a struggle. So the Cavs kind of have that working for them. Even with a subpar record, they're still third. They're third. Celtics are first. The Raptors are second. And then it's the Cavs. And, I'm definitely not trying to hate, but the Raptors are good, but they're still smoke and mirrors to me, because they always have, good regular seasons. They've got, DeMar DeRozan, and they've got Lowry, and, they're starting to use Ibaka better. But, in the playoffs, even with the way the Cavs are, if the Cavs even halfway show up in a 7-game series, I still don't think that Toronto could beat them. I also feel that way about Washington. DeRozan is going to do his thing, but you got to worry about Lowry. I remember he had to go in the locker room because he was too keyed up. He was, I've never seen that before. I was like, I got to go sit in the locker room for a minute. Like, nigga, what? Nigga, it's the playoffs. The fuck are you talking about? You got to go sit down. But whatever. People deal with things differently. So, but with Washington, as good as John Wall is, I'll never say he's not talented, but to me, he's kind of disappeared in some big games, both against the Cavs and others. I mean, to me, last season, when they went to 7 games with the Celtics, to me, that was his time to shine. That was his game to win. And Bradley Beal showed up, but, I think Wall only had like 13 points. So, it's like, come on, man. If you feel like you an all-star caliber, point guard, you got to come with it. Those big moments are what make and break people. So, I don't feel like either of them could beat the Cavs in a 7-game series. Milwaukee kind of worries me a little bit, but their season is already different because they fired Jason Kidd. But, having Eric Bledsoe to go along with Giannis, however, the Greek freak, Antetokounmpo, that Jabari Parker is probably going to come back if he already hasn't. So they've got some pieces too, but again, in a 7-game series, nobody has experience in the East like the Cavs do. Nobody has that continuity that the Cavs do because, they're all familiar with each other, where you figure the Celtics, they've got some pieces that have been there, but Kyrie that's his team now, and he's new there. He's in his first season. Gordon Hayward, obviously injured. Hopefully he'll get well soon. So, I think, is there anybody else I'm leaving out in the East? I mean, you got Miami, but, come on. So, I was hoping that the Cavs would have made a run at DeMarcus Cousins or Anthony Davis. I would prefer Anthony Davis, but I don't think that New Orleans is going to let him go. He's kind of who they've built their team around. He's a little more marketable and doesn't have the reputation that DeMarcus Cousins has. I was hoping the Cavs would try to get Cousins. I feel like he has a toughness and a meanness that the Cavs need. But, you know, again, a couple days ago, he tore his Achilles. And he'll be back. But, you know, he's not going to be able to help the Cavs for the second half of the season now. So, you know, it's kind of like, who do you get? I was talking with my boy Tim, and as crazy as it sounds, and as much as I dislike him because he let the Lakers down, I definitely feel like he was juicing on steroids. Dwight Howard would help the Cavs. You know, he's kind of a shell of what he was, so he wouldn't be that expensive. He's not going to do anything with Charlotte, you know. But then, you know, the ownership factor, and this is just my opinion, Michael Jordan, I don't feel like he would do it. You know, he's a competitor. He wants to compete with Dan Gilbert on an ownership level. And I don't think that giving them a piece like Dwight Howard, I don't feel like he'd want to do that for LeBron's legacy. Because, see, I feel like Jordan, I feel like his legacy is threatened by LeBron's legacy. Now, no, LeBron doesn't have as many championships as Michael Jordan. He's only halfway. He's lost more finals. I mean, Michael Jordan never lost in a final, even though I always say he was never in a final. I thought that he would lose, even against the Lakers, you know. Because even though Magic was there, those were like Showtime remnants. That wasn't true Showtime. You know, Pat Riley was gone, Michael Cooper was gone, Kareem was gone. You know, you had some Showtime remnants. You had Scott Worthy, you know, Magic, AC Green, you know. But that's another podcast right there. But anyway, he never lost the final. LeBron's lost 5 finals. Let's see here. 07, 11, 15, 14, 17. Yeah, so he's lost 5. He won 3, 12, 13, 16. So, but even with Kobe, and I'm a Lakers fan. I mean, I'm about to get to them in a minute. You know, I don't feel like Kobe. With Jordan, I think he looks at Kobe a little different than he looks at LeBron because, you know, he patterned a lot of his game after Michael Jordan. And they had kind of a big brother, little brother, you know, kind of thing going. I don't think LeBron, you know, or Jordan looks at LeBron that way. And I feel like there's never been a player, when people talk about the GOAT or the greatest of all time or whatever, you really didn't hear Kobe mentioned like you hear LeBron mentioned. Like, a lot of people don't feel like Kobe is even the greatest Laker, let alone the greatest player of all time, you know. So I don't think that Jordan would trade Dwight Howard off of a team that he owns, or let that happen off of a team he owns, to help LeBron and the Cavs win a championship. They're both in the East, and nah, I don't think that would happen. But they need to do something. I mean, they pretty much had to give up damn near their whole team probably to get Anthony Davis. So, you know, it's kind of hard to say. But the Cavs beat the Pacers and the Pistons. You know, it's not like they beat the Thunder, or the Warriors, or Spurs, but, you know, they could have beat the Spurs because that was the game before Indiana. But, you know, almost only, my dad always says almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So, you know, they could have won, but they didn't. So, you know, but they've got 2 wins. And hopefully the continuity, hopefully they can gain some momentum, beat a team that's, you know, more of a contender and kind of build on it, you know, because I just feel like ever since Isaiah Thomas started playing, Tristan Thompson came back from his injury, now you got Shumpert coming back into the mix, you know, that kind of threw the team off. a little bit. Now it's come out that they had a meeting and Isaiah Thomas tried to call out Kevin Love. And, Kevin Love was sick when they got blew out by the Thunder last weekend. And, he left before the game even ended. That could be true rumor. Who knows? But if they can keep building all these wins, they'll be fine. It's still the East. Now in the West, Golden State is Golden State. I feel like the Cavs kind of have figured out how to beat Golden State. And, when they beat them for the championship. But with getting Kevin Durant, they had no answer for him. To me, he was the reason why they won the championship. When he hit that three over LeBron in Game 3, even though it went to 5 games, to me that kind of sealed it right there. They didn't have an answer for him. But if you get a DeMarcus Cousins or an Anthony Davis, that kind of offsets Durant trying to go to the hoop. Now, definitely, he can still shoot. Durant is a very good shooter. I actually feel like even though LeBron, his shot is better than it's ever been, Durant is a little better shooting. But, if you got somebody clogging up the paint, to me that could change things. It's not like even Golden State even goes to the hoop that much, but they'd have to rely on the three more. And this big body that the Cavs need would be able to, deal with Draymond and KD. It'd be different if they had somebody like that in there. No Mozgovs, no Zadrunas, nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? They need like an enforcer. They need DeMarcus Cousins or Anthony Davis, basically. I can't think of anybody else. I'm sure there's somebody else that I'm leaving out aside from Dwight Howard that's out there. If they could get a Greg Monroe or a Drummond, somebody like that, that would be big. Or, dare I say it, the Greek Freak, but come on, that's their whole franchise in Milwaukee, so that's unlikely. But, damn, I forgot my headphones. Fuck. Damn. Oh, well. Anyway, we'll be back in just a second.
In the News is sponsored by
Well, I most definitely appreciate y'all for listening today. Next podcast, which will most likely be tomorrow, I'm going to go over some of the Air Max releases that are supposed to be coming up too. A few Jordans I didn't touch upon that are supposed to come out as well. Some Adidas stuff. So definitely appreciate you all for listening. Thank you. And I will talk to you guys soon. And always remember,
it's not goodbye.
all right, you all be blessed. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.